Oh, 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 oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I'm playing. But let me talk to you. Welcome to the Champions Corner. We're here. We're live. We're ready to go. Fellas, how you doing? Talk to the people.
I'm
We're
doing
doing
good.
amazing. We're doing amazing.
How's it going?
Well, that's all right. Amazing. Amazing is good, but I'm doing wonderful as well. It's been a great day. I'm happy to be here with your brothers and trying to do this great thing that we continue to do is put out great content for the people. Because we try to do it for the people, you know what I'm saying? We try to keep them up and up on the professional wrestling world, you know what I'm saying? But today it is going to be a great day. We're going to talk some AEW, we're going to talk some WWE, and who else? We might throw a couple other eyeballs in there for you. Just kind of keep it all rolling for you. So how you feeling? You ready to get started?
Yes, sir.
You know it. It's been a good week. Triple H had a birthday, so it's all good.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as my brother Sean would say, I'm going to take a line from him. Let's apologize to the people. Let's have a moment. Let's apologize to the people for always just talking about.
I mean, we getting all his birthday. It's all good.
Apologize.
Triple H ain't a bad guy. It's good.
What
It's cool.
kind of world are we living in where we can't give this guy a happy birthday? What kind of world are we living in?
Nobody.
It's the game.
Listen, nobody said anything about not celebrating his birthday. I'm just trying to figure out, what you had to throw that in the beginning of the show like that for. Like, what are we trying to do here?
I'm telling people it's been a good week. Has it not, Ron? Has it not been a good week? Has it not been a good week for wrestling?
It's been a good week.
Guess what I'm talking about? See, this guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been going on for about 30 years.
This guy. It's been a good week. That's all I'm saying. It's been a good week.
It's been a good week. But let's go ahead and jump on in because it has been a good week in all seriousness. With professional wrestling, we have a lot of big things coming up. We have AEW All In coming up at the end of August. We have SummerSlam coming up very, very soon. We just came off TNA Slammiversary, so a lot of good things are happening. A lot of free agents out there as well. So a lot of good things to talk about in terms of just professional wrestling. And it's good to see that a lot of wrestlers are still out there doing their thing, no matter if they're in larger companies or in the indie scenes. I think that's an important thing to mention in general because that keeps the business going. Everybody's not going to be happy and where everybody think they should be happy at and vice versa. So I think it's a good place. So let's go ahead and jump back in and let's talk about AEW Blood and Guts. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the fourth one thus far. But AEW Blood and Guts, fellas. Now, I don't know how the fans particularly feel about it in general, but you might think of it as a war games type of thing, but let's not look at it like that. AEW, they really did their thing with this, I believe. There are some similarities, but there are also some differences. But let's talk about Blood and Guts. I want to kind of talk about the event itself and what it does for the magnitude of the business. So, Ron, can you tell the people what you think of a show just like that annual show that can kind of bring like a pay-per-view feel, but it's like your regular Wednesday night show in their regards. What do you think that does for the business, or yet alone?
It does a lot for the business, especially for the AEW diehards. They're gonna go hard for this match because the match was very violent. I mean, somebody almost got burned up in it. And this wasn't even a pay-per-view. This is live TV. So regular programming. So you had to pay to get this one. But I enjoyed the match. I mean, I don't know if the story going in to it was strong enough for the violence that occurred in it, but coming out of it, it brought a lot of story. Most of all with Hangman and Swerve, they their history. I would love to see a match between them again, even though Swerve has a match with Danielson at all in. He could also be building up to a match with Hangman All Out because it's not too far from each other. So we'll see if he keeps the belt, but he building it up with Hangman now. So I'm hoping he does beat Danielson and Hangman, really. And we also have another person that was in the match, Darby Allin. He's earned a title shot in September. So, I mean, Swerve getting it from all angles. But also coming out, we have a Darby. I think Darby is getting a title match with Jack Perry, who he almost burned up again. He always, like I said before, he always had to hit him with a flamethrower. Now he poured the man gasoline on the man. But Jack Perry, he still wasn't giving up. He still wasn't, surrendering. It took Matt Jackson to do it. He said, "This is getting ridiculous. It's over. We give up." Now, you know what I'm saying? But Jack Perry stood his ground, chained up to the cage and all. The man stood his ground. So you got to get some respect to that, man, just for that. I might be stupid, but he probably wasn't going to get burned up anyway because there was no one on the outside ready to put the fire out. I didn't see anybody in the team out there ready to do it, so I didn't think he was going to get burned up. But still in the moment, but looking back at it, replays and whatever else, that's what I was thinking. So I was like, oh, okay. And then you got what's their team name? The Acclaim, yeah. They coming out of it saying had a passionate promo, especially against FTR and whoever else who coming at them saying they not serious. They came out and saying, "Oh, we serious. You see that match, and we came out with a W. We serious. We know we here for long haul, and we take it serious or not. We've been here since the beginning." Showing out, being champions, we're ready to be champions again. They want to face the Young Bucks, and so they want people to take them serious. Everybody doing all the the sesame and whatever else, whatever like that. But they fight. They really, when their bell rings, they go at you. That's what they want to bring off. And so, like I said, there's a lot more story coming out of it, more than going in, especially for the violence they had in the match. But it's one to see. And it's one for the business. I don't know if we can do it I don't know if it should continue to do every year because everybody's going to look forward to this. But like I said, that's why I said the story going into it, they kind of had to put the stories together and, to rally each other. All the babyface had to rally with each other because they all had individual reasons of going after certain people in the match. But the story wasn't as strong as it is going out. But like I said, it's a match a lot of people, especially AEW faithful, and if you ever seen it before, it's one to see. So I suggest if you haven't seen it, go see it. Go look at it.
Before we pass it on to Brother Sean, I have to, you know what? Actually, I'm going to say it afterwards. Sean, go ahead. What did you think about it? Do you feel, the initial question I want to ask you, do you feel, to RC's point, do you feel there's something big that can come from this, or the way that it ended, should everything had just stopped there, with the exception of maybe Swerve and Hangman Adam Page, because there's a lot of history there, and they claim in the Young Bucks. Other than that, what do you think it goes from here?
Well, before I answer that question, I would piggyback off of Ron's notion about how the match took place, and it was a big card field. I really honestly felt like this probably should have been reserved for maybe a bigger show versus just being on like a regular program. But I was impressed. I've never seen that Blood and Guts like that. I think Darby, man, he might need to be a stunt man another life. So, he's doing crazy stuff, man. I mean, I think him and Jeff Hardy I think about Jeff Hardy and him being similar. Just daredevils, just taking risks no matter what it is. You have people thrown off the top of the cage, and it looked like war games, but I mean, at this point, what new can you do in the business? Everything's been done, honestly. But to your question about where do we go from here, I personally would like to see Swerve and is it Hangman?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see them really, really have a clash or something like that again, because I think those were the two biggest figures or biggest things that stood out to me through the whole thing. But I think a lot of storylines can be developed from this. I also thought that because it was the Elite versus AEW, and I'm like, man, that whole beef, that whole rivalry, it seemed like it came to a head just through Blood and Guts. But I see a lot of storylines coming out of this, but I really want to see Swerve and Hangman do something.
It brings up another question. A couple of things here. First, So remember how it's all kind of started in this particular era of it. In this season of story is when the Elite essentially just, they attacked Tony.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's about 2 or 3 months ago now at this point. Where does he fit in this now? Or is he done? I know he came out one time to try something and to try to do a distraction of some sort. But where does he fit in now with this? Because it's Team AEW and Team Elite. So it's almost like a NWO, WCW infiltration, right? It's under the same roof in a sense. So where do we go from here, right? There's a lot of meat on that bone. That's all I like to say, right? Still a lot of meat on that bone. So where do we go from here with him? Is he done with this now? Does he come out and throw his power up? Does he join the heels? You know what I'm saying?
I would say he need to be done. I mean, to me, Tony Khan just doesn't have. I mean, he doesn't have that charisma, in my opinion. This is just my opinion, to be like that on air person, like let's say Eric Bischoff was or Vince McMahon. I just see Tony Khan like the nerd, that's coming out, every now and then and just being bullied, beat up on. I don't see him. I think he would need some other pieces around him to kind of be like his bodyguards, his shields. But if it's just him, I mean, not unless he picks the side of Team Elite, and that'd be an angle like that. That's the only way I could see him really coming back on air. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, well, he was saying he don't really want to be on TV like that much because it would take away from the stars that needs to be built up already in your company. I mean, tell their stories. We know what you are. You're the owner. You book everything. We know what you do. So that's what he said. If he's gonna be on TV, it's not gonna be long. And he just wanted to kick this story off with the Elite and show like their strength and their power on the company. And then he brought in people to help his side and what he's pushing. So he just want to put the focus on the Elite when he started this, and he's done it. I mean, like I said, they got a lot of belts in the group. Well, all of them got belts. They got championships or whatnot. So many championships in the company, period. But you know how it go. But he don't need to be on TV like that. Like I said, and Team AEW got the victory. So I don't know if it's gonna boil down to another clash between AEW and the Elite again, because they did Anarchy in the Arena, and then they did the Blood and Guts as far as team on team matches like this. So do we need to do like like one more to seal it off, or where is it gonna go?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question I got for it, but I guess some answers maybe come at All In or right after it. So I'm waiting to see. That's what I'm looking for, to see where it goes for that.
I don't see it being necessary for them to go a third time, unless there's some really big stakes on the line.
It would have to be, yeah, because with how the Elite running rampant and doing all the crazy stuff they doing, they got to be forced to give people what they want. It took blood and guts. Somebody almost get caught on fire for Darby to get a challenge for his title match and for them to even give up. So you got to force the Elite to do something for the people. So it's got to come down to the stakes of, they ain't got that power like that, or they just won't have too much, hold on everybody like they do now.
I would say yes, Swerve and Hangman Adam Page. So maybe not a whole other group, match like that. Probably wouldn't make sense at this point. But maybe just those single or tag team rivalries building up from this point. The only thing I would say, I mean, think about the match. I mean, you seen what? You seen like tacks going in somebody's mouth. You got the chair shot around the world. You know what I'm saying? You got people getting set
Jack
off.
Perry?
Yeah, you got. And I'm gonna come back to that because I actually have something I want to ask y'all. But so I guess at this point, those three rivals we talked about, Darby Allin, Jack Perry. We talked about the tag title match and Swerve and Hangman. Now, but the only thing about that, in my opinion, yeah, I know you probably want after that. You probably want to go because of the discord that was on the Elite anyway with Hangman and Matt Jackson. But what I want to say is this: like, okay, Swerve and Hangman. So maybe that's going to be all out. But you gotta remember though, you got like a 70,000, potentially 80,000 seat venue coming up here before all out, and Swerve already got to go against Bryan Danielson. who's talking about his contracts ending, I think, this week. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow.
So,
Yeah.
you know, like he probably gonna
I
put
mean,
that
unless you
one
make
match
it.
in. So what how do you balance that, especially after something monumental like this, right? Um and the one thing, how do you balance that? So RC, talk to the people about how would you balance that? And I know that's not so much booking, but how do you balance that? And Sean, I would propose a question to you is that I saw Corey Graves because everybody didn't agree at the magnitude of that match. It's like any other match. And I saw Corey Graves, who's been forced retired, right? Said that I think he maybe tweeted something, then deleted it about. Essentially, he was saying that is not safe for a performer. Everything that happened in that match. That you want to be able to enjoy life after matches like that, and or you want to be able to enjoy your career as well. Like, you know, you do get hurt. We know that in the business, but more so, how do you take care of yourself in those type of environments? So, talk to the people, Ron, first, and then Sean, if you can answer that question, because I think that's right up your alley.
As far as balancing, you talking about like with Swerve fighting Danielson and Swerve maybe fighting Page.
Yeah, it doesn't
Well,
overshadow one of them, you know? Like, how it doesn't overshadow.
well, right now we full speed ahead with him and Danielson for All Out. And with that, with time in between that time, Adam Page still has, animosity with the Elite. He's not really fully with them.
Mhm.
So they could settle that in between time because, him and Okada was kind of going face to face in that Blood and Guts match. And Page wouldn't even listen to Matt Jackson to get in the ring until he threatened to fire him.
Mm-hmm.
So in between time, they could go back and forth, and then you give me this, you could give me that, and make some deals, and then either they could put him in a triple threat with Danielson, or like I said, just have the match at All Out. Yeah, and that's hopefully, and just so because he wants that world title back. I don't know if he wants to fight Swerve more because they got so much bad blood between them, but he wants to be in that world title match. That's what he was in the Owen Hart tournament for. He was hoping to win. He didn't win, but he wanted to be in that world championship again.
Mm-hmm.
So if they could work something out, or like they go back and forth for a few weeks about that until All In's over, and then they pull the trigger on he got a match All Out, or they make a triple threat at All In because with All Out they could main event All Out with a few other matches that they could pull together. So it's on them what they want to do, but that's a way they could buy time in between time.
So you think giving the fans, very quick, Sean, before you go, you think giving the fans that big tease, right, based on
Yeah.
historical factors, like you have them
Mm-hmm.
kind of tease each other, not in a one-on-one capacity, but more of like, the animosity that they have against each other in that match alone, that's enough to kind of put to the side for a little bit to have people kind of itching, right? Continue
Oh yeah.
with Danielson. Have that match potentially Swerve wins, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't think Danielson wants to be a champion, but nonetheless, and then now that kind of goes into maybe all out in like 2 weeks, I think, after All In.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is that what you're kind of saying?
Yeah, and if Danielson does win, it'll be a rematch that Page he felt he shouldn't have lost. And he felt, I don't know if he felt he got cheated, but he was like, man, he didn't really beat me. He kind of just slipped out from under me, and he got me, got a pin on him. So they had that, you tease that type of a rematch from the Owen Hart tournament. So either way you can go with it. I mean, it works. But like I said, just by the time with Page with the Elite, because like I said, it's dissension there, and he doesn't really want to be with them. He just got in here just because he want revenge against Swerve and hopefully get a chance to the world title.
Got it. Well, Sean, go ahead, bro. That's good.
So you now name the person name that you said again. Said this.
It was a tweet from Corey Graves, and
Okay.
I want to remind the people that Corey is if you don't know, he's a announcer on SmackDown, the lead announcer at this particular point in time, whose career ended due to wrestling. So he just kind of I guess he was just kind of I ain't gonna say in his feelings, but he's like, man, this is too much. We're trying to preserve, not take out. But
So it's two sides to that because I've oftentimes heard Eric Bischoff, point to the fact that it's a lot of it's is not sustainable in the product that they do. You know, especially he was referring to Darby when he jumped off like right onto glass. He's like, if he was one step closer or one shift over, he could have been paralyzed. So I can kind of see where, you know, he would come from that standpoint. Especially it might be in the standpoint of, you know, how his career ended, you know, thinking about, you know, the boys, thinking about the people. But at the end of the day, this is the nature of the business. And, you know, you have to do what's best for business. And sometimes what's best for business may cost an injury, may something like that would happen. I mean, because you can get injured in any way in any sport, you know. If it wasn't this type of aggressive or this type of ruthless style match, you know, it could have just been them, you know, being tossed over the rope and tear ACL or something like that. So the injuries are going to happen. Now I tend to lean more to the side of, you know, now if that's the only thing you're going to do every night, like if it's just become a gimmick where we're just going to do these hardcore matches, you see how that type of it's not a lasting product to put out there on TV. I mean, we saw that in ECW. I mean, we can go down the list how that's all they push. They push this hardcore element, but they fail to have any type of stories after or in between these type of things. So if that's your only product and you're only leaning more towards, you know, the high risk things like that, then I can see it's not sustainable from a product side. But it's a part of the business, so I can kind of see both of his tweets. So I think I agree with you, Lon. I think it's more so of how his career ended.
Good. You know, that's a good point. Very good point too. But you know, at the end of the day, also they are living up to it. All Elite Wrestling. That's their moniker. All Elite Wrestling. So
Mm.
they're leading up to what that's supposed to be. What they want to put on the best shows. You know, mostly they do is wrestling. They don't do so much entertaining or storyline driven promotion. So I
Mm-hmm.
can understand that they want to get the people what they came to see,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I do agree with that, but I also want to continue on. So thank you for that take. Any final thoughts on that particular section as we continue to move on?
I don't think that is, in my opinion, I haven't seen something like top tier elite. I mean, it's getting there, but
Okay,
I haven't seen like top tier, like something I'm like, oh my god, like I gotta see this, you know. So
got it. I want to talk about I want to talk about the learning tree. I was kind of back and forth wanting to ask this, but I'm gonna ask it. Chris Jericho, how much time you think he has remaining? You think? Or should?
man,
Not that we're making a decision for him, ladies and gentlemen. We just asking a question that you're probably thinking yourself.
I feel like, man, because I remember a while ago, people was like, man, what's going on? You know, Jericho seemed to be out of shape, and to me, he's starting to seem to be a little out of shape. Honestly, you know, Jericho is a world class athlete. So I think he has a lot left in the tank, and I mean, I just want to see him go out on top, you know. So I think he got a lot left in the tank. I know he's injured. He got injured in the last match, right? That's what I heard. I heard he got injured in the last match, but
Boy,
I think he has his stuff left in the tank. So
he did post a picture of his hand because they kind of got torn apart in terms of just getting popped, kind of like the bruiserweight. You know
mhm.
what I'm saying? He got popped and popped, but you know, I think with RC before you go there, I think Jericho right now is in a position where he's been there for a while. And quote unquote, not to compare, but the only way I can say it is that I've heard him being called the Undertaker of the locker room in AEW, and not so
It
much
makes
the character itself, but just uh, he's assumed
standard.
he's assumed the leadership role backstage. I don't know if they do like wrestle court or anything like that, but I'm just saying he's the one that people go to for advice, and well, he gives advice freely because he wants to see the product further, right? So I think Jericho at this point, my personal opinion, I think he has a little bit more left too. I think he's maybe waiting for that closeout match or maybe somebody who can take him out, right? Who can give him his swan song. You know what I'm saying? Who can really get that emotional investment in it, like and give him his swan song? I think that every superstar wrestler, how you want to say it, looks for. You know, they look for that. Like, and I think that's what he may be working on. Maybe that's why he's trying to build up this young talent too, because they got to have something a big moniker under them. Hey, I took out a goat, right? And I can use that to prepare myself. You know, maybe that's where his direction is. But that's just my opinion. Go ahead, RC.
Yeah, with that, some people are hoping that's sooner than later because that's where all this new gimmick learning shit kind of started. They was telling him, "Hey, please retire," and they were chanting that at this show when he was fighting. I think he was fighting Hook. And a lot of people just do not. I mean, Chris Jericho is one of the best at reinventing himself. But with this one, a lot of people just not feeling it.
I like it.
I mean, some people do, but most people's like, all right, come on. This man, you keep giving this man TV time, and then he just being a troll about it. And he continues, and that's what some people like about it, being a troll about people not liking him or not wanting to see him on TV. And he called a segment TV time or something like that. So he having fun, man.
Mhm.
And this, like I said, in the past few years, right now, he's having fun.
Yep.
Whether he stops in the ring, he can still be on the outside, being a manager, be helpful backstage, like I said, a leader of the locker room, and continue to help build the future for AEW. But like I said, he's having fun. He's all right. Yeah. Whether he has a good match or not, he doesn't care. I mean, he wants to put on a good product, of course, I'm sure. But whether people like him or not, or boo him, or tell him to retire, or tell him just stop, or whatever it is, he gonna play with you.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what he do, man. And like he's enjoying himself. So he got a lot. He got a lot. He could still offer the business. So, and that's what he's just looking forward to with that.
Good. Yeah, I think he does have a lot to offer. He's been around for so long. I mean, I remember Lionheart. You probably wouldn't have thought that would be the one who will be doing this right now. You know, from going like one of his greatest stories. I know we're kind of talking about Blood and Guts, but I want to put this in here just kind of remind the people. Chris Jericho is a guy who probably had Goldberg's earlier career. Probably had Goldberg's best story that never happened.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, he kept saying Goldberg wasn't showing up, so he had him like I remember the numbers like I beat Goldberg this many times because he didn't, you know what I'm saying? And they ended it but a young guy at that point was kind of pulling an up and coming star. Like the attention was like I want Goldberg to dominate this dude, you know what I'm saying? Because he really got into it, and he was still new in the business in a sense. I mean, he been around like different places, wrestling around the world before he got WCW. But to see him now, kind of giving back to the business, we're giving back to the business and trying to show people his successes, his failures. You should do this, you shouldn't do that. I got to give kudos to him on that, man. So I think he does have some more gas in the tank because he has so much to offer. So shout out to Chris Jericho for continuing to put on A-class performances.
Absolutely. Is Jericho on your WCW Mount Rushmore?
No. He's not on my WCW about mushrooms, but that doesn't neglect anything he's contributed. But he's not in my. But if you want mine, I can get you real quick. My top four. Okay, we got Sting, we got Flair, we got Luger, and we got DDP.
Ooh. Everybody putting DDP up there.
Come on, man. I mean, I know people want to say the NWO. As much success they had as the NWO, I still consider that WWF talent.
It got to be WCW. If we talking, it got to be W.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree with Sting. Man, I can't consider those guys are WWE guys, man. Sting, Luger. I got Jericho on my top four, man.
Okay. Hey, all good, man.
And Eddie Guerrero.
Okay.
I think Eddie Guerrero should have been champ. WCW.
Why a lot of them left. All of the radicals. That's probably a lot of big reason why they left, but we can talk about that doc later.
Yeah. We got more. We got so much to go on there. Hey, Ron, you want to tell your people your top four, or are you good, brother?
I had to think about it. That's hard. I mean, I much as I would hate it, I mean, Sting is, I guess, in everybody.
I thought you about to say somebody.
I would hate. I'm going to tell you about Sting. I would hate if I put Hogan in there. That's what I was about to say. I hate.
I thought you about to say Goldberg.
No, I thought you about to say somebody else you always talk about.
I would. I'm not a Goldberg fan either, but that's on two I got right now. I had to think about the rest.
Okay, no problem. Let's kind of move on to something else that's very interesting. We had a new championship be unveiled. As a matter of fact, MJF, not only did he unveil a new title to make more USA, he had his face on the flag in place of the stars. Now,
for me, go ahead.
If this ain't a guy that you want to be like, I need somebody that's not this dude out. If he ain't playing that role well, I don't know what to tell you. That man is a
But
straight heel. Sean, you ought to be proud of him.
but that wasn't even the most egregious thing. That ain't even on my mind with MJF. What he said, with all he said on Dynamite. The most egregious thing he said, talking about Will Ospreay, saying about his grandma dying.
Oh,
He telling Ospreay he might as well kill himself and be buried next to her, but be buried 500 miles or whatever far he said away because she's too fat. I was like, God, dog, come on, bro.
Golly, man.
Yeah, that was most like, jeez. And most egregious also, why people keep letting this man make ugly belts?
You didn't like it?
I ain't like that one. I ain't like the last one he had for the World Championship. Who keeps letting this man make these ugly behind belts?
I got a couple of names I could throw at you.
But I got one name, Tony Khan.
And it's the third name for this championship, for this one championship. It was the Mid-Atlantic. It turned to international. And now it's the American Championship. Man, might as well say U.S. Championship. Like, God, dog.
Yeah. It's the United States belt.
Yeah. So it's just a lot, bro. But yeah, he's still one of the biggest heels in the industry. Ain't no denying that, because Lord, the things that come out of his mouth, but he's allowed to say on TV, it's just crazy. But that belt got to go. I don't know, bro. I'm going for Ospreay at All In. Come on, let's go.
I personally liked the belt. I thought it was a good throwback. And when I looked at it, I thought it was like, man, it's a throwback type belt. I wasn't mad at it. I'm all for a good heel moment. I thought that was classic, or not classic, but I thought that was spot on as a heel to say that about his mom. I thought that was great commentary. But I like the belt.
Yeah, you can have it,
Man. But let's kind of dive a little deep into that, fellas, because now we going to Will Ospreay's home where he get his rematch. Because remember the question we put out there before was like, why is this match happening on was it 250 episode Dynamite? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
250 episode Dynamite. Okay. So like why is it happening there? That was the question. Remember we talked about it. So we was like, there got to be something big coming up in terms of like, because you got All In right around the corner. Now we're seeing that this was the reason, and now, I mean, you throw somebody's grandma in there like that. I mean, now you go on your home. This man trying to get booed. Like, he's trying to get it. He don't want nobody. It's like JBL. He probably don't want nobody buying his shirts. I don't know. I can't confirm that. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is really pushing it. So, is this the most anticipated match thus far? I believe it's only 5 matches booked so far. But is this the most anticipated match? Before we was like Mariah May and maybe Toni Storm. But has this superseded that now?
I wouldn't say all that, because that story with Mariah May and Toni Storm has more story behind it. This just kind of came together, but it's getting big, because that, especially with that match they had, that's one of the best matches of the year right there. I don't know if people like the high ended with him hitting him with the ring, but I mean, it's MJ, classic MJF, But that was Ospreay got like 3 matches of the year. It's crazy. That's why I was like, he might be like the breakout star in America for this year. Because this man got 3, bro. Probably more than that, bro, for depending on who you're talking to.
Ron, that'll be bruh.
Bro. Yeah. I'm just saying. But that match was crazy. And so I can't imagine what they're going to do it All In. So it's jumping up there, but as far as story, I don't know yet.
I agree. I don't think it's surpassed the Toni Storm story or match. I mean, considering what I get the girl name all the time, man. I want to call him, but Mariah. I don't think it's eclipsed that. I think it'll probably number 2. And number 2 is considering the match that they put on. I mean, that was a very entertaining match. I become a fan of Ospreay. I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed on his work, his in-ring ability. Big things happening for him. But I'm ready to see what happens. Especially it being in his backyard. He's gonna get booed. He's all for it. A good heel is looking for that. So It's gonna happen.
Oh yeah,
What
they thrive on it.
I think it'd be good this time because I think last year at All In he fought Jericho, but he wasn't officially signed with the company.
Yeah,
So this time, signed with the company at home in front of potentially 70 to 80,000. How many they can get in there, and now potentially to get that win back, get your lick back, as I hear a lot of professional wrestlers say these days, or get your
yeah,
pound of flesh, however you want to call that. But I think that'd be really good. That could really cement him to the next level. Because the question was, remember, like we were like, well, he lost to Swerve. What happens now? Then he loses his title after that, and now it's like, okay, set up for a comeback. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I
yeah.
think wrestling wise, I can look forward to Ospreay MJF more. But Tony Storm and Ryan May story development, yeah, it's going to be like, for example, I mean, we saw Tony with full clothes on. You know what I'm saying? So I think, but I think with MJF and Will Ospreay, I think that potentially has, that's a match of the night candidate for sure, bro.
Yeah. It's gonna be hard to say what's gonna be match of the night that night because with that match and Swerve and Danielson, man, it's gonna be hard to call, bro.
Well,
And who else, what else match is gonna happen? Who else could surprise you? But
Right.
between those two,
Who's gonna show up at all? At that pay per view.
that too, whoever shows up, it can be moment of the night. But as far as match, I think it's gonna be between those two matches.
well, I mean, that's kind of it's a good segue because Mercedes Moné, Britt Baker.
Oh
It's
yeah,
official now. I mean, if you saw the San Diego Comic Con, you thought he got into it there. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, my thing about that, I don't know who touched on it a couple shows ago, or maybe it was this commentary. We were saying like at this point in time, that's the match for Mercedes Moné, based on historical factors that the DMD did. This is the one. Like in a sense, Britt's like, this is still my house. You coming in as a visitor. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So now you add Camille to that, right? Mercedes, quote unquote, bodyguard or heater, whatever you want to, however you want to say that. But now, like, does Britt go in full face like this? Because she's not used to being a face now. Let's not forget that. Like, does she
Right.
go in? Does she go in full face, baby face? Like, maybe I try to do it on my own. You know what I'm saying? Then go and get help, or does she bring somebody with her? So many different elements you can go there, right? So where do you go for that particular one? Which is why I believe that I don't think that match was still the show by any means. But I think it can have some good heavy hitting. And not so much like them just hitting each other, like the interference that could potentially happen for Camille. Like Mercedes working as a heel, who's that heel that, that pulls the ref, right? While Camille does something. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of feel. That's kind of see that kind of happening. And let's see if she can milk it like that. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I like that she added Camille because like what Diesel Shawn Michaels type tandem, and with that could lead to a match down the road with them two. So unless Britt get some help, I could see Mercedes winning this match just because of her Camille right there. I mean, I think Mercedes can win without her also, but as far as adding to her being her heel moment, I think she'll win just off a Camille distraction or whatever it is. But if somebody's gonna come here for help, Britt, it might be. Hopefully, I would like to see her return. Was Jamie Hayter? It'd be nice to see her back because she before she got injured, boy, she was doing work, bro. Especially with the World Championship. So it'd be great to see her back. It'd be her make a big return over there, or right before All In. So there's a few things that can happen with that. So I'm looking forward to it.
So do you think so like I said, 5 matches, those 5 matches alone can, put butts in seats.
Yeah.
And those 5 matches alone that they only announced can put butts in seats because you have Swerve and Danielson, you have Monet and Britt Baker, you have Will Ospreay, MJF, you have Tony Storm, Mariah May, and there's one more. What is it? Hold on, there's another one. What's the fifth?
What are you talking about?
because it's 5 matches booked so far. I'm trying to figure out what the other one is. Hold on 1 second for the people. We're doing it for the people.
Yeah.
Well, while you look that up, I would agree with what Ron said. I think that match, that probably, because Mercedes Monet is finally, I believe she's finally found her stride in AEW. You know, she's starting to really show, you know, her heel qualities, really just starting to shine like we all know she can shine. So I don't know, man. I just have this weird feeling like, man, something's going to happen in that match where it'll cause them to do like maybe a part 2 to that match. But go ahead. You was going to name the 5th match.
Yeah, Darby Allin and Jack Perry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah.
all
Okay.
title matches again right now. So those 5 matches alone, coming off of this week of Blood and Guts, those 5 matches alone can really, like, that can sell the house.
Mm-hmm.
That can sell the house. What do y'all think?
Those 5 matches.
Thus
I
far.
mean,
Thus far.
the match. Yeah, I mean, having Swerve and the B+ player. Golly, I mean, what's the boy name? Brian Daniels. There won't be no yes because he's gonna lose the Swerve.
My Lord.
Listen, yeah, I think he does lose his word. Like I said, because he doesn't want to be title. And I think he's getting ready to. I mean, he's talking the other day about his son about to turn 4, and you know, he probably want to do more, not so much, because although he's been in AEW, he has a lot of injuries. He has a lot of injuries. You know, and after a while, especially with young kids, you know, you don't want to. You want to be the best. You want to be the best you can for them. You know, so. But with that being said, I kind of want to go back to Tony Khan for a minute. You know, we mentioned him a couple of times today. Now, we know that he's taking shots at WWE and out of competition or whatever you want to call it. Because in his mind, as he should, he believes AEW is number 1. But now there's rumbling saying that he said he's willing to collab with WWE. If the business was right. Personally, I don't see it. And the only reason I say that, because let's think about it. If you're talking about like a forbidden door type of thing, I don't see that, because who wins? Who gets the better of that? Right? Because that's bragging rights. Right?
Yeah.
But if you're doing like something that's not so much in the ring, I can see that. Like that's something that's going to better the business. Maybe co-sponsor an event or something like that. I don't know. Like a different event that has nothing really to do with either one of them. But as far as them having like WWE versus AEW, like a forbidden door type of thing. Now for the fans, I'm sure it'd be wonderful. But who benefits from that? Like who bragging rights, man. And the way it's going, it's like anyway. Talk to the people. What y'all think?
What he was saying, he's like he probably open to it, but he couldn't see it. That's what I got from it. Like, 'cause, you know, people gonna continue to ask him about that, so he kind of want to put something out there, like, yeah, it'll be nice for the fans, yeah, but I guess for him, I think is for his feelings about them or what he continues to tweet or put on his show to talk bad about WWE. I don't see it, and I don't think he sees it either. He was saying it might be a bit more about the business wouldn't work out between them, but it's probably more personal than that. It's just business. Like I said, we got a lot of collaborating between companies in the last couple of years, last 3 or 4 years, something like that. But that'll be the biggest one in recent history. Because I mean, before, you know, the alliance back in the day, WCW, WWE.
I don't know if we can call that.
But that wasn't even that, because WCW was gone. So it'll be the second biggest company and the biggest company, WWE, come together while both of them are at, you know, at our big deal and thriving for the most part. So it'll be kind of almost a first in history, but it's hard to see that happening with how things are going. All you're going to see is people going back and forth, and them not letting go of certain people, so they won't go to the other company. Because I think a lot of people saying that's what they're doing with Buddy Murphy, because I think Tony Khan felt he was going to go back to WWE if his contract was up and he didn't offer him a big, nice amount or whatever it was. Whether that's true or not, that's a feeling with a lot of people. Because, you know, why wouldn't you want to be with your newly wife, Rhea Ripley? and people would be on the road with her.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which,
So
I was going to say, speaking of which, sorry, I didn't know if you were done, Ron. I'm sorry. You?
no, you good.
I think I heard the same thing about Aleister Black. Same thing. Wife's in WWE.
Yeah, Selena.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
It's hard to do that, and also that's why people was like wondering if Ricochet was gonna go over there. And a lot of saying he might debut soon in AEW. So and he with Samantha, they engaged. So
She
I
ain't
don't know how
going.
they make it work, but I think that's why Andrade came back to WWE, you know, because with Charlotte, even though Charlotte's not there fully right now, but she's still with the company. So I don't know how they make it work as far as that relationship goes. That's personal stuff, but we'll see if Ricochet debuts soon in AEW.
yeah,
I mean,
that's what the rumor mill is saying. So and then with Will Ospreay over there, they can do some. They did it before. So yeah. But go ahead, Sean.
their schedule a little lighter than WWE, I would suppose, right?
Yeah, they do double
Well,
record
yeah,
on
yeah,
that.
probably so, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think when I read the article about Tony Khan and his comment on it, it didn't sound like it was far fetched to me. It sounded like something that he was more so considering, just that it wouldn't work out. That WWE wasn't on board. That's what I got. That's what I gathered from it. Do I think it'd be good for business? Yeah, I think it'd be really good for business. I think AEW has a lot more to lose than WWE if they were to do that. As it pertains to their stars versus WWE stars, right? I think they have more to lose. But at the end of the day, I don't think just based off of what Tony Khan has said in the past, I don't think it's something that he will follow through with. Probably would be on pride alone, because like I said, WWE really wouldn't have anything to lose, because they're more of the established brand. So I would like to see it. I don't know where and I don't know how. I think it should, if it was to take place, I think it should just be like some type of invasion thing, where they just run up on the show or whatever, led by CM Punk leading the charge. I don't know.
Oh, Lord.
Just wishful thinking. Just wishful thinking. If it was going to happen, but I think that it would be good for like the younger, like especially talent that's maybe not really being shown in the proper light. If that was to happen, WWE just being in that type of program alone would bring some of those stars that's not being given the chance or not being looked at. The eyes are not on them like that. If they did something like this, the eyes would probably get on them just by being in association with WWE. So.
You said something. The name that everybody chants every week, CM Punk, right?
Mm-hmm.
So two things come to mind with that real quick. And I'm gonna come back and circle to you. It's gonna make sense in a minute. So bear with me for a minute. First of all, he was at the San Diego Comic Con, right? There's always Starks and Sam Roberts. AEW was there too, Tony Khan, right? But also, I don't know if y'all saw Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, that was on my mind. I was going to wait till you stop. That
Drew,
was on my mind, too. I ain't gonna lie.
Did y'all saw that? Did y'all see? Y'all saw that picture?
Yeah, the picture with him and Jack Perry.
Yeah, Jack
He the
Perry.
troll of the year. Mm-hmm.
Hey, it looked like a big brother, little brother picture. I ain't gonna. Hey, he pointing
Hey,
at.
McIntyre, big boy.
Hey,
He was getting CM Punk's attention.
Oh yeah, like he always doing. That's what he stay doing. He stay trolling CM Punk on social media. That's why I keep getting messed up in his world title matches. But he wondering like, what's going on? But that's what's going on.
I just wanted to see what y'all thought about that real quick because I'm looking forward to a Raw, and I want to see because I think one of the things that's been promoted is that Seth Rollins is going to give his quote unquote, I ain't gonna say State of the Union, but like his referee address or something like that to both Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. But that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about that later once we see it. But I just wanted to see you talking about CM Punk leading the charge. I'm like, well, there's only one person I can think about he'll lead the charge against, and that's who it was, Jack Perry. So, like, that's how I would see that. But I agree with you, Sean. I think that AEW will have a lot more to lose, only because WWE mind is on other things, which we're going to talk about in a moment here. AEW, they can be, but sometimes what comes out of their mouths is makes you think differently. But I'm not here to sandbag them or nothing like that about that. But WWE's going to continue to move forward. Whatever happens from that deal, because they kind of control the narrative of what they're doing right now. You know what I'm saying? With the TKO backing and things of that nature, yeah, we can make a lot of eyes on the product for this type of thing. But speaking of that, I want to kind of go out of order of our call sheet here. I want to talk about WWE focusing on things. So if you didn't see on social media, if you remember John Cena at Money in the Bank last year in London, he said London deserves a WrestleMania. You recall that? Money in the Bank 2023. This year he's retiring. Next year I don't know what he's gonna do because this Money in the Bank seems to be a show right now. But anyway,
putting out that 17th championship, Money in the Bank.
but so now Triple H, Nick Khan has met with the mayor of London and about potentially bringing more WWE events over there, but particularly a WrestleMania. Fellas, what do you think about that? Now we know the fan base over there. We know they are passionate, man. They're passionate. So what do you think about that? Obviously, we know it's good for business. But when is the last time they had an international WrestleMania?
I can't think.
If at all. If you want to consider Canada, it's still part of North America, but if you want to consider,
that's about it, ain't it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't call that international.
Well, I'm talking about outside the state. I mean, it's considered North America. We get that, but what I'm saying is, it wasn't in the United States. You know what I'm saying? Like they had 2 WrestleManias in Canada. 6 and 18. One. So
18.
Yeah, 6 and 18. So it's like this would be that first one, right? What do you think about that, Chris?
I'm going. I'm going flat out.
Hey, fish and chips for everybody.
Man, fish and chips. Man,
the real deal.
All kind of good food over there. But listen, I think it would be cool. Only thing, I'm not a cold type of guy. I don't want to be cold, man. But you just never know. But
you'll get a jacket. You'll be all right. Get a coat. Get a nice coat and get one over there.
Oh, I can get my pea coat. I can put my pea coat on with my scarf.
Hey, looking nice for WrestleMania. What now? It's a big moment. You know what I'm saying? It's already gonna be your anniversary.
Hey, she can go, but it might not. It might not
with you. Take a trip to London. Hey, you'll be good.
But it might not be on. It might not be on the anniversary. It might
not. But you know what I'm saying. Usually it's around that time. It's right on that time. But
I think it's good. I think it's good. Granted, like you said, it's good for business. I think it's a good move, man. Because shoot, the way WWE is especially within the last 7 months, like just that, it's like swelling up to like where it's just. I mean, you had the shows that's been in Saudi, it's been in Scotland, it's been now they're about to go to Berlin. I mean, it's bound to happen that a WrestleMania takes place overseas. I mean, shoot, I think it's gonna be on a grand scale. I mean, and it might just by the fan reaction alone might eclipse every other WrestleMania, man. So I'm looking forward to see what happens.
My only thing is, what time will it start? What time will it be on? I had to figure out that time. I'm trying to think what time it was on when it was there last time.
Let me see.
Was it early in the day?
For Money in the Bank last year?
Yeah.
I don't recall.
It had to have been on just earlier in the day, right?
Probably so.
Because it wasn't on in the morning, like the one in Australia. So that's on my thought. Only thought about it.
I mean, so currently, right now, it's 11:18 in London. So
the wrestlers, it'll be different for it'll affect the wrestlers more than it'll affect probably everybody else because they had to wrestle that early. Well, probably that early, but like I said, depending on what time.
But it would be kind of like what Scotland was kind of early, right? It was like 1 o'clock our time, or was they 7 o'clock? I think it was 7 o'clock our time.
7 o'clock their time.
I don't think.
But our time, like it was early in the day. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out what exactly what time it would be when they would show it. But as far as the show period, the fans are what we're looking forward to. Their
Yeah.
reactions to everything. It'll be one of the biggest WrestleManias of all time. It'll be one of the top. It would have to be just for the crowd reaction alone.
Mm-hmm.
You know the match is going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And if the match ain't that as good, that crowd reaction gonna make it better than what
Yep.
it is.
Yep.
Because you think about it, when people say one of the best matches of all time, Hogan and Rock, was that
Right.
match actually good, or was that crowd reaction making that match to be one of the best matches of all time?
Crowd reaction. Crowd reaction.
Exactly. So whether the match is good or not, that crowd reaction for every match gonna make it good. From what we've seen just this year and last year, and places they've been, Puerto Rico, you said Scotland,
France.
everywhere.
France.
Yeah, France, especially France show. Well, I think they was the top, but all those shows were very memorable just for those reactions alone.
Mm-hmm. So
For every match, you made every match better than what it was.
that means us here in the U.S. we gotta get our reaction up.
Boy, because that's the crowd I want to be in, man.
Yeah.
We talking about going to London. Let me book my ticket.
But I mean, look at it. Look at all the look at the shows that they've done. You know, this year alone, they've been out of the country for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So this might be where they're going.
Yeah, and we still got Berlin to do.
Mm-hmm.
So ain't no gonna tell how they're gonna be there. So I think it's a great move.
I think so
the
too.
London fans, they've been itching for this forever, and they need talks right now. So it may, if that does happen, it'd be what, maybe 2027, 2028, around that time, if they do it like that.
Yeah.
Because I think they booked up for the next few, ain't it?
Well,
Oh yeah,
next
because I think Indianapolis has WrestleMania coming up, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, and then this year gonna be Vegas.
They didn't say when though. They got a SummerSlam and a WrestleMania and a Rumble, but the Rumble gonna happen next year. So I don't know.
I think it's 2026 for they WrestleMania. I think.
Okay.
So then
I'm not sure.
So then, that's what I thought.
I know SummerSlam 2026, but I don't know about the WrestleMania.
I thought it was gonna be 2026, but man, that's gonna be huge, man.
Look.
And by the video alone, it looked like it already is like it's a deal.
Yeah.
Right. They never like hitting at it, boy. Y'all ain't talking for no reason.
Bro, they took on this. You seen the video? They took on them pictures, bro. It looked like it's a deal.
Right. We just ain't see the signatures yet.
Yeah. Which we never see. So
Yeah, I thought they put that stuff out though, but
yeah, but back to it. I think 2026 SummerSlam has Minneapolis for 2 nights. So maybe. So I don't know. But to your point, they might be booked up for the last. This genre seems to be booking things ahead, and they don't release everything at once as well. So it's like we don't even know what SummerSlam gonna be next year, right?
Never,
we don't even know that yet. So which I'm hoping that it'd be somewhere closer. I want to go, but anyway, about that,
that's only with a big four we ain't been to yet, bro.
Yeah, yeah, man, and perfect segue talking about WrestleManias, because right now I think as recently not just WWE, but I want to focus solely on SmackDown, because I said it before, I believe right now for SmackDown is its own WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that Raw isn't, and that's not what I'm saying. Not to say WWE as a whole isn't. But everything I believe right now with SmackDown, specifically with the Bloodline, is leading to the bigger picture. The Rock said, probably about a month or so ago, talking with ESPN on, I'm not sure which platform, he was saying that they're on the 1 yard goalpost for creating the biggest match in WrestleMania history. When I hear that, I don't think of Rock and Cody. I think of Rock and Roman. Sean alluded to a few times with this Bloodline, do they get all the titles? Well, after this past week's SmackDown, they got the opportunity to do that next week.
Mm-hmm.
Fellas, does the Bloodline get more gold? As a matter of fact, Not only do they get gold on Friday, do they get gold on Saturday, the whole weekend? Do they get the gold?
No. I mean, they gonna get it Friday, but not Saturday.
So why Friday?
Cause you really see DIY beating Jacob Fatu by himself? Not
So
mention Tama Tonga there. Cool. Yeah, he there. But Jacob Fatu will destroy them boys by himself. We thought it'd be God, but Tonga Loa got his he got that patch on, so he ain't able to get in there like that. But they got that werewolf in there. You can't do it yourself with that. I'm sorry, bro. So I like they getting them tag team titles, but as far as Solo getting a title, it would be very shocking to me. I wouldn't be totally mad at it, but like we said previous shows, I believe a lot of people think Roman because he keep mentioning Roman. They put him in the package, but with this regime, they put your mind somewhere, but they'll do something else that'll make sense also. So that's why we were thinking. Continue to say, Jimmy. I think Jimmy is coming back, and Jimmy can cost him the match, and he could get beat down a little bit, and then boom, Jey Uso. That could be that moment. Because like I said, Jey Uso has nothing to do at SummerSlam besides wait at Waffle House for real. But
not anymore. Dom went home.
where it may play out, we're gonna see.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out now.
We're gonna see about that. Like I said,
man,
that's why I said I don't see Solo winning, but if he does, it'll make sense because, like I said, this bloodline needs to look strong, especially before Romans get back. They need to continue to build, so the fans will continue to want Roman, continue to chant that they want Roman. Because if they don't, especially if they don't get Roman at SummerSlam, which everybody thinks is going to happen,
I don't think so.
Are the fans going to be disappointed, or what? Are they gonna be let down because it's just Jimmy coming back? A lot of people love Jimmy, but he ain't big as Roman. So will the fans be disappointed in that? And for the fans not to be disappointed in that, that's why I feel Jay will come in also and get them fans right there because they love Jay. And to see them get back together, that's a SummerSlam moment. So that's how I think it's gonna play out.
Listen, Sean, before you go, everything makes perfect sense, but I think they still need to hold off on Roman for a little bit. I think they need to hold off on bringing Roman back, maybe another 30 days. Maybe after Bash in Berlin. I think they do. Because if Jimmy does come back, they got to give him and Solo some time to work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And to get more heat. And then that could bring Jay in too, because Jay be like, I got to go hit my brother, right? Or something along those lines. And that could potentially lead to what we all think is going to happen potentially, is a bloodline, civil war, and war, and then we know the end game is, we know Richard Rock and Roman is going to happen, but, that's a little further down the road. We can discuss that. So I think they should still hold off on Roman. I know the people want it. And then I just heard they decided somebody else.
Yeah.
Is it Lance?
No. It's hard. I keep forgetting how to say his name. But he's tall one. He's also a son of Haku.
Well, so that's a whole nother place right there. That's 5 people, right? So, so much more to come with the bloodline with that, So, Sean, do you think they get the titles?
I mean, I don't want to go over into my predictions, but I mean,
okay, we hold off.
Yeah, so I'm gonna hold off, man. But yeah.
Okay, well let me. Well, you heard it here, ladies. But let me throw another one at you then. So last week, I know you answered this one. You love for this one. You'll love this one, my brother. So last week, I was talking about what's going to happen and who's going to be on SummerSlam. I remember saying I didn't think Jade and Bianca were going to be on the card. Remember that? Because I think it's just everybody's not going to be on every show. Maybe they get a break here. Well, guess what? What's going to happen next week on SmackDown? RC was saying that they need to defend those titles. I think they defended them twice this week. Then I think they defend them. I think they defend them on NXT Great American Bash, and then they're going to defend it on SmackDown the night before the go home show.
We don't wait so long. I got to defend twice in 1 week.
He must have made some calls.
Yeah, let's talk to somebody.
I was just saying. So, Sean, I know you don't want to go into your prediction, so let's go right into it. About your girls, man.
Yeah.
They get it back.
So how they did with girls?
Yeah.
Golly. Man, listen, we talked trash about those champs on a few, I think it was the last show. We talked about them. Man, these girls showed up like they was at a old Scotland pub or something like this. Like they was at the bar. Come out there and beat them girls down like that, man. But you know, of course, at the end of the day, you can't stop Jade, bro. Can't stop Jade. Can't stop Bianca. No matter what you do, you can't stop him, bro. You saw that? You saw that, man. But anyway, they got my girls, but I don't see the reason if they go and get these titles. I need to write somebody because you got to tell me something. I mean, what was the point of them losing? If they get these girls and get the titles back, what was the point?
Yeah.
That's Scotland moment. I'm telling you, it's that Scotland moment. And they knew Drew was losing.
Yeah, but
Drew
see, I'm
and Piper didn't win. Somebody in
Right.
Scotland had to win.
right.
I also think that it goes back to that old fashioned rule in the business. I don't know if they got to this point with Jade and Bianca, but your more money making is when the faces are chasing the title.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. I mean, think about it with Cody. Every option he went up, especially this year, like winning the Royal Rumble, then getting the win taken away from him, and then going back to that, and then The Rock coming in, then Seth getting in there through this. All that happened, you know. So now I think maybe that was the goal of it, to see how the fans respond to him. Do they get it back? Do they get those titles back? I think they do. Only because I haven't seen much for the current champ.
But I was hoping Bianca would be able to get at SummerSlam. She had that whole contest going on about what she's going to wear at SummerSlam. So I thought she was going to get a match. But
I mean, it was ain't they on the poster? No, they don't.
nah. Because ain't the Bloodline on the poster, ain't it?
Mm-hmm, the Bloodline.
Yeah, Bloodline. Yeah, Bloodline.
Yeah.
Thinking, but they're supposed to be doing something in August with the sports betting because Ron Clark gonna be there. A bunch of people gonna be there in Cleveland. I can't remember the sports betting thing that they use, but anyway,
DraftKings or something like that.
something like that.
Yeah, they always been doing that though. But what do you think? Do they get the titles though? Do they get it back?
I don't think so, man. I think, man. I wrestled with this topic here. I wrestled with this thought, man. Something didn't seem right with Bianca to me. You know, something just was off when they was out there in the ring together. I mean, with her saying, I get what she said. You know, hey, I love y'all, but I got other things on my mind. I want to. Man, there's a seed being planted for a potential or eventual breakup between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if it happens at this time, you know, because one of them they're gonna come out and say, hey, I'm better off without you, right? Or the other one's gonna say, hey, you holding me back from my shine, right? That person I can see being more so Jade Cargill, you know. But I don't know. I don't see them winning the tag team belts back because I'm like, man, well, what was the point of them losing in the beginning? If they get these belts back, that's really gonna prove what everybody said, that they only won these titles because they was in Scotland. So I don't see the company doing that, you know. But I do see I'm 50-50. 50% of me feels like it's too early for them to split up, but then I can see it happening right away. That's the only other narrative.
Yeah, but I don't see them fighting until like a WrestleMania. So that's why I was thinking like they shouldn't have lost the titles, but I don't think it's gonna be that bad if they just get them right back. Give Aladon and Amplifier a win on NXT, and then same week they'll just lose them.
Mm-hmm.
So they at least have one title defense, but I don't know what other story they got going on after that. They might have a few teams to fight, but like I said, the tag team division needs to be built up either way, men and women.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and the biggest stars are Jade and Bianca in that division, especially around a big pay-per-view like this or PLE like this, SummerSlam. They have the titles, and he still may have a spot at SummerSlam doing something,
Right?
because they still want to continue to showcase them.
Now, what if? Because a part of me feels like, man, like like Jade gonna turn on Bianca. Like it's got to happen to the point so where it could possibly be if we want to look down the road at WrestleMania that this point when she breaks up with Bianca is so bad to where it could put her out for a while to kind of prolong it for that moment.
Yeah, I don't hate to see that, but yeah.
You know, I don't know.
I think Jade works better as a heel, honestly.
Yeah, she does. She does based on her AEW tenure. I think Bianca and Jay could happen at WrestleMania, and I wouldn't be mad at it. But I would love to see Bianca versus like Rhea or Charlotte at WrestleMania first. Or maybe in the big stage.
Yeah, I don't see them being a WrestleMania match.
Who, Jay
Yeah.
and Bianca?
No,
Yeah.
not right now.
Yeah. Because my thought right now, with my mind, the reason I say Rhea Ripley, because my mind immediately goes to this. Not to say they can't come up with something, because they can. But my WrestleMania is tomorrow. I'm like, who will Rhea face? You see what I'm saying?
Some newcomer.
And they can make it work. Don't get me wrong. They can make it
Yeah,
work.
they'll make that work, yeah, because
I don't see her
right now that's a long ways away, and they already working with TNA. So Jordan Grace,
Yeah, I don't see her facing. Yeah,
because who knows who could be in the Rumble?
right. Who gonna win the Rumble?
Yeah,
Now,
so, I mean it's a number of people.
I want to say this. So remember back, it almost looked like Bianca was becoming a heel anyway. Like before Jade even got there, it looked like she was like transitioning to a heel just by her body language, the way things she said. You know, before WrestleMania, to me, it looked like she was becoming a heel. So
I to your point, Sean, I think if anybody went here, it'd be Jade. And it's only for the simple reason, it's like a John Cena thing. You see a lot of young girls, it's just, Bianca's always posting on her Instagram stories about young girls kind of like, just walking around swinging their hair and all that stuff like that. So that doesn't go unnoticed, you know what I'm saying? So if anybody, I would think it'll be one of the biggest things that Bianca could try to overcome now. It's kind of been a while since she had to overcome something. She fought Damage Control for a long time, but for the most part, she always beat them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like now it gives her something to fight back from. Before that, it was like coming back from losing to Becky in 26 seconds or whatever it was. Something like that. And now this is something for her to come back on and continue to push forward. I mean, she dominated ever since she got that title back. When she beat Becky, she dominated that title reign. She dominated. Had it over a year. She dominated that reign. So it's like, man, let's get it.
Yeah, I can see Jade eventually doing this and turning heel with the narrative of, "Hey, you've been holding me back" and all this type of stuff.
I'll say Bianca could be here because only because what some critics say about her, that she needs to have a big change and stuff like that, because she's been a face for the longest, and seeing you the EST and all this and that, smarter and better and faster than everybody else, that's almost a heel thing for a lot of people. And so, and she could play that part. She did it when she was first starting in NXT. So she can play it, and like I said, it'll be something new for her. So I feel like it could go either way. But Jade probably would be more comfortable being a heel because, like I said, she's done it. But even then, AEW, she was still getting some cheers.
I mean, who ain't gonna cheer for my girls?
They cheer for them now. That's why they're doing it now. But like, it can go either way, bro.
Did y'all hear what Mark Henry said?
Good.
So Mark Henry has an interview with Sportskeeda?
Yes, Sportskeeda.
So he had an interview. The guy was asking him how he came across Bianca, right? I'm not Bianca, but her too, but Jade. And he said a mutual friend told him about Jade, and he's like, "Man, I can't talk to nobody. I'm married, girl." And so he was like, and the girl was like, "Nah, it ain't like that. She want to get in the business." He's like, "All right, well, send me a picture of her." He said when he saw the picture, he said, nah. But he said, yeah, he said no. And he's like, "Man," he said, "I initially called her and was like, hey, you ain't gonna last in the business. You too pretty." He said, "Cause girl, you ain't gonna want to break a nail. You ain't gonna want your hair pulled, nothing like that." And she was like, "I'm tougher than I look." And he said, "Man," he was like, "Well, hey, you might want to go to Ohio Valley Wrestling, try that out, and then let me know." And he said within when she went, the guy called him and said, "Man, where you found this girl at?" And Mark Henry was thinking, "Oh man, she must have bombed." And the guy knows Mark Henry, trained Mark Henry, and he was like, "No, this girl can be a star within a year." And he's like, "Doggone, you ain't say that about me." So the guy said, "Well, I ain't say that about you because you a fat MF." But man. But Mark Henry he could come back and be a manager for all these people he found. He found Bianca, he found Jade, he found a few other people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I thought that was a funny story though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Mark Henry is doing great things in the business, man. Accolades in and out of the ring. You know, Mark Henry, yeah, he's definitely contributed to the business. Took a year off, become strong man again, then came back and continued his career. You know, shout out to Mark Henry.
Sir,
Shout out to Mark.
salute.
We gotta get him on the show.
Hey, come on, Mark. Hey, Mark, let me talk to you.
Do something.
Hey,
Hey, give us some pointers about how you do it.
hey,
Yeah.
real talk, but you know, there's another piece of this. We talked about it last week. We asked the question, was LA Knight, was this his time? Was he finally going to get the gold or get the brass ring or the start of the brass ring, if you will? All the comparisons, you know, that you compare to The Rock or to Austin or this and that, yada, 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 megastar this, megastar that. Is this the time? Is this the time that he gets the title? And so
Nope.
the last couple of weeks, obviously, he's had altercations, physical, with Logan Paul. Fellas, based on those two, who has the momentum?
It's LA Knight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he did what he said he gonna do. He'll get that paper signed.
Mm-hmm.
And the fans are behind him, and it made Logan Paul say, "All right, I got you." Because Logan Paul still wasn't gonna try to give it to him right there in the ring, right there. He's like, "You ain't worth it." But he heard that crowd reaction, and hey, it forced him to force his hand. Hey, all right, I got him. I could do it. I'm Logan Paul. I can do it. Y'all understand how great of an athlete I am. I can just get this man. I'm doing my hometown. It's an easy win for me. That's what he feel like. So, but LA Knight gonna show him something different. I hope.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying he's gonna get it?
Hey, I think LA Knight gets it. I feel like he needs the victory, really.
I agree with that part.
He does need a victory, and considering what happened on SmackDown, you know, the way him with Logan Paul and
Santos. Escobar.
yeah. Consider how they teamed up. I would say that's all the ingredients for Logan Paul to win. I mean, not Logan Paul, but LA Knight to win. But for whatever reason, man, I still see Logan Paul coming out on top, coming out with a victory, a dirty way. So I don't think it's going to be a clean victory.
Nah. And just to put this in here with Santos Escobar, what we were talking about earlier about international, he was trying to leverage for a PLE to be in Mexico. Before we were talking about earlier, I didn't mean to mention it before we mention it right now, so I'm bringing it up. But that'll be interesting. Also, he said it to Cody Rhodes, like Cody Rhodes is in charge of doing that for some reason. He said it on like I mean, he do, but hey, I guess it's in front of the fans. He was in the ring with Cody Rhodes. So I guess he felt like it was a great time to do it.
They had the main event match over there. They had the main event match on that tour. That's what it was.
Yeah. And so that'll be good too for the company. Like I said, WWE is trying to be everywhere and have their hands in everything.
Hey, I'm good for that. Just stay away from the cartel.
So I was just hopefully security won't be on the table for that one.
Yeah.
Hopefully they actually be working with around that. But yeah, back to Logan Paul and LA Knight though.
Yeah.
Y'all go ahead.
Yeah, I think LA Knight gets it this time. I think LA Knight gets it. I think it's his time, a big stage, because he won. I think last year SummerSlam he won the SummerSlam Battle Royal, I believe, something along those lines. And from there,
yeah, the Slim Jim thing.
Yeah, so the momentum from there was. Matter of fact, he's in those commercials. He's like the guy for that commercial now. And after that, right before WrestleMania, he had a match with Roman in Saudi. He had he teamed with John Cena. You know what I'm saying? And John Cena kind of put him over. You know what I'm saying? And then he had
He very much did.
and then the WrestleMania he defeated AJ Styles. I don't know what else he need to do to get the U.S. title.
Yeah, I mean, like it should be his moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because from there, I don't know where he could go after that if he don't win this one.
Mm-hmm.
And Logan Paul, he can do whatever he want. I mean, he don't even have to be there all the time. He gonna have something going on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So for him to take his loss, yeah, it's in Cleveland, but he lives in what, Puerto Rico. So he don't really care. It won't be a big hit on him if he loses this match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, he's about. I don't know how far along his fiance is, but he gonna be on father duty here soon. So I also know when with that. So, but in the meantime, they doing it up, man. So he has plenty to do. As to your point, so I think he drops the title because he had it almost a year now. Yeah. So 2 title defenses. I mean, at this point, drop it in front of your hometown, man. Why not? Booker T always says it's something about looking up at the lights in the middle of that ring. And what better way to do it than your home stadium? You know what I'm saying? Looking up and knowing that
You
you're
gonna go out and party right after anyway.
Huh?
You gonna go out and party right after anyway.
Yeah.
Whatever you do.
He will. But I think it's LA Knight's turn, and then I want to see after that, what he does with it now. Mm-hmm. That's gonna be the true test right there. That's gonna be the true test. What he does with it, because we know those mid-card titles are the workhorse titles, and so we're gonna see. Not to say he don't know, he does know how to workhorse. You know, he can do that. But we're gonna see what he does. So I maybe next time we'll do like a prediction, another quick prediction as it gets closer. Now that we got more to chew on, but yeah, LA Knight, he's there. U.S. champion. Right. You heard it here on the Champions Corner podcast. You heard it here. Any final thoughts on that, fellas, as we continue to talk to the people?
No, man. I think it's going to be a good match.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now, real quick, we continue this real quick. We already talked about the bloodline. We talked about, how essentially Jacob's going to beat the DIY.
Jacob is a problem, bro. Jacob is a beast.
Yeah. You said you can't do it yourself. As RC alluded to. But let's talk about, what do you think about, let me say MX like this. What do you think about deciding factors of number one contenders through gauntlet matches like this?
It's kind of unfair. Like, it's good for a babyface because they've done it well in past, in recent history, especially with, the build up to Kofi Mania. That was one of the best, gauntlet things they did to build up to that match. But it's like when the last team you got to fight is the Bloodline. I'm like, God, come on, bro. Street Profits did all this, and what they getting for it? The Bloodline. Oh, here you go. There you go.
Yeah. You knew what it was.
It goes back to our conversation last episode. The black people struggling through all this, and then right here, Bloodline. All right, there you go. Get you out of there. They ain't getting no other shots after that. So I don't know, man. It ain't about the race thing, but I'll just point it out from last episode. But
no,
it's an enjoyable match, and it takes up, and it's for them, it takes up a good amount of time for the show, so they ain't got to book as much for this episode, and it's great for babyfaces to be behind them, see if they can make it to the end. And so, and then, like I said, the fans are behind the Street Profits, but they couldn't pull it out on that one. But like I said, it's a very enjoyable match.
Listen, I thought the gauntlet was spot on or very timely because we just had the conversation about the tag team division, where the Street Profits at, and bam, we got this gauntlet, which I thought everyone in the gauntlet, well, except the first team, I thought they was thrown together. I mean, not unless they was already, I thought they was thrown together. But
with Corbin and Apollo?
Yeah.
Yeah, very much thrown together. But they did a good job. They're doing a good job together, but as far as the match goes, but it just seems odd.
It seems very odd. Very odd. But I was like, man, rooting for the Street Profits. But I knew that they was going to hit that brick wall in the form of Jacob Fall 2. It ain't matter what they did. They did everything possible to this man during the match, man. Jacob hit that dude with that Samoan drop. Golly, man. Just like Umaga,
Yep. And then that moonsault, it was over.
that moonsault from halfway around the ring, it was over. But I think the Street Profits are still in a good position. You know, I think they need to break up, honestly, but because we still, although we all feel that the Bloodline is going to win the tag team titles, but what if the Street Profits interfere?
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking too. Now, as you said that, as you were saying that, my mind went there because they already got beef with them already. You know what I'm saying? So why not turn up the heat? You know what I'm saying? And give the Bloodline something else to do other than beat down Cody and Randy and Kevin.
And that would give the Street Profits, put them in that type of light.
Yeah, because they could be the ones helping out whoever facing the Bloodline, like Cody right now.
Did you say they could be the one? That's what you said. That's what you said, right?
Boy, God knows I was late to the party, but man, we miss you, Tribal Chief. We missed you.
There you go. Anyway, well, you know what I'm saying, man. They need to do something. Cause that's I don't think that can help them. Them interfering or getting especially so they get the next shot after Jacob and Tom get the belts.
Yeah,
that can put them in contendership right there.
It should put them in that program, man, and that'll put them back in the main event picture, at least as a tag team. Yep.
Yeah, because I mean, Cody ain't got nobody else watching back. Randy and KO being put out.
They KO'd.
Yeah, and Cody.
They are KO.
Had that video about I'm gonna have to take him on my own. I mean, Street Profits right there, and they can help him out.
The only thing about Street Profits, I just hope the momentum continues. Like they often in their promos, whether it be the SmackDown, is it still called SmackDown Lowdown? Or is it called SmackDown Lowdown, right? That or something back there is they always saying, man, people forgot who we was. You know what I'm saying? We know it down to that, but no, I think you forgot who you were. You know, because you always get to that point and lose. If you gotta keep reminding your people who you are, you gotta keep saying that people forgot who you were. What did they say? I think The Rock said it. When you're good at something, you tell people. When you're great, they tell you. Or something like that. I think that's how the quote goes. No, you need to get back on the saddle and do what you were doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You get back on there. But on the other end of that, I gotta agree with Sean. I think it's time for them to break up. And because Montez shown he's went one-on-one with Roman in the main event of SmackDown in the Thunderdome era, if you remember that.
Yeah.
He went one-on-one with them. So, he's up there. He was in the Elimination Chamber and stole the show it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so one might think. Right, go ahead.
I say it's right there for him.
Yeah.
They just got to give him that shot. To do it and continuously, not just one shot, one match, or we ain't going to do nothing with you. Get this man some time and get the fans behind him because they used to seeing him with Angelo Dawkins.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to see him by himself.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how much of the slowdown had to do with not knowing which direction Bobby Lashley was going to go.
I mean, not before they got with him, no. They slowed him down.
Yeah, that too. But recently, because it's like, man, where they been? I'm wondering how much of Bobby Lashley's decision with that whole faction had to do with the slowdown of what they got going on.
Yeah, because he's the leader.
Mm-hmm.
But them and B-Fab been continuing on. They get some spots on TV, certain spots on TV, but like I said, Bobby ain't coming back. They got to do something to do it on their own, or like I said, break them up. And I don't want to break them up as like, oh, they got beef now, because do we really want to see Montez versus Dawkins like that?
No.
Well, no. Hold on. I'm going to respectfully disagree. If built right, that could be a very emotional investment. If people could, because think about it. If if Dawkins turn on him or whatever the case may be, and maybe B-Fab go with Dawkins, you know what I'm saying? Like, and maybe really pull on him, and then you can even involve Bianca in that. Like, how you gonna, she can run, I ain't gonna say that do this, but like, how you gonna turn your back on your brother? Y'all been through all this together, yada, 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 right? kind of get that involved, and if they can really make it an emotional investment. They really could. Like, in the point that Montez don't want to do it, but he got to do it. I think that can work.
Yeah. I just ain't wanted to be like how they did with what so many other tag teams before, where you didn't really care about that match afterwards like that.
Yeah,
Right.
they definitely have to continue it. They definitely have to do something. Maybe let Dawkins get the first win, and then
Yeah.
kind of do it like that. Because if Montez get the first win, then I don't, yeah, back in the line, I guess.
Depending on who will be the heel in that moment, I'm assuming to be Dawkins. Because like I said, people they want Montez to get on his own for a good minute.
Mhm.
He, like I said, he looks like a champion.
Not unless it's
And he
just
talks like a champion.
not unless it's just like a mutual agreement where they're like, hey, I think we we done as much as we can do together. Let's see how our single careers look.
Yeah.
Yeah, and historically, it has worked. But also historically, there's always one star in a tag team if they broke up, and the other one kind of went through the beats. Case in
He
point,
just
Heart
one of
Foundation.
them need. Yep,
Rockers.
one of them just need to. They just need to pull a Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
That's it.
Heart Foundation, Rockers. I'm not going to say that about because they both did the Strike Force. I think they both did. I think Tito and Rick Martel both had a fairly decent career after that. But historically, it's usually Steiner Brothers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Harlem Heat.
Yeah.
You
There's always one that ain't gonna do it. That's what I say. If a team breaks up, you got to think about what your gimmick is before they do this breakup.
Mm-hmm.
And because a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm just a bad guy now." Well, okay, whatever. We just don't like because you turn on your partner. But what else you got going on?
Mm-hmm.
So I will, if they do it like that, I hope they got something really planned out because we don't want to see somebody that falls to the wayside just like that.
And that's the only thing
And
about it.
eventually fired.
Like I said, he needed to pull a Shawn Michaels, which I think was one of the greatest ways to backstab your partner. I think he just knew to pull a Shawn Michaels.
That order is gonna be good. Wait till the draft. That's all they're gonna do.
That draft still need work, but
They do, but they're gonna do it anyway.
that draft ain't really a draft.
Yeah, they but you know what? They know that though. It's like they know they gotta do something with Hall of Fame and SmackDown. They can't continue to do that. They can't continue to do that, man. Maybe move Hall of Fame to a Thursday night by itself or something. But
I need to go back to how it was.
what?
I mean, wasn't the Hall of Fame like a separate? Wasn't it like a separate thing?
Oh, I thought you meant like the day. I was like, how you gonna do that with 2 nights of WrestleMania?
No.
Oh,
No, like
I said, do it Thursday. Do that maybe like a Thursday, SmackDown Friday, and then kind of go into WrestleMania, NXT, and all that stuff, and Raw.
Yeah, it could be like a special Netflix episode, just like the draft could be.
Yeah. That's it.
The draft and that separate Netflix episode or Peacock, whatever. Just do it like that. I mean, people tune in.
the draft don't need to be on live TV. I mean, it don't need to be based around the matches that night. It just need to be the draft by itself. They call in and you got analysts going over the picks. It need to be kind of like the NFL draft.
Right. That's how they need to do it.
Or maybe just do like another social media promotion. Hey, check out YouTube for the draft. Like they did a documentary, something like that. Maybe I don't know.
That'd be.
I don't know. Just a thought, right? Just a thought, right? So I don't know. Fellas, I want to add something here, if I may. There's a lot going on in the business. We talked about this week at the beginning of the show. We talked about how it's been a good week for professional wrestling. The modern day Maharaja has went out and got his first championship.
Mm-hmm.
The chant was I think it was at GCW, if I'm not mistaken. But the chant was
I saw him debut at GCW, but I didn't see him get no championship.
I think he got a championship. I just saw it. That's long ago.
Yes. Yep.
But the thing was don't hinder gender. So what do you think about the modern day Maharaja? Right.
I think he needs to. I mean, he got a championship, yeah, but continue to make an impact. Be more than just in GCW.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to go around being other promotions, just like Nick Nemeth, just like Zack Ryder or Matt Cardona. You got to make your impact in more than one place. Because, and when he was talking before, he want everybody just see him more than just, as what he was in WWE. They want to see a more different type of character for him, a different type of persona, or a different type of attitude for him. He want people to see that. Well, it's your time to show us. You got to do it, like I say, do it one more promotion, get eyes on you, and you got to do that in more than one place, because that's been successful for those wrestlers I just named. Nick Niven, I gave him Champions moment last time, because he man got tied up about 3 or 4 times in different companies, 4 different companies. He's showing out, being an MVP, one of the MVPs this year. So I think it's his time to do that. I was shocked to see him in GCW like that. Cause I didn't think that was the type of place that he would go. But like I said, he wanted to have a different attitude, and in GCW, you got to have that different attitude. It's a hardcore place. So for what I've seen, and so I'm happy he's doing something, and hopefully he does what he wants to do, and hopefully he has some plans in the past few years that he wanted to get out, and hopefully this is his time.
I think it's cool. I want to see what transpires, what happens after this, because I know he just was on one of those podcasts talking about his career with WWE. But
was it Van Vliet?
Yeah. I think I want to see what happens next.
I think that's fair. I want to throw that in there because there's a lot of since the last I can remember, there's a lot of free agent talk lately. A lot of free agent talk lately about what somebody's going to do, where they're going to go, and all this stuff. We talked about Bobby MVP already, and then the Mahade Maharaja, it got going on Ricochet. A lot of talk right now where people going to end up, right? So, and then not to mention just recently, the Hardy Boys were free agents, and now they were TNA for the look of it. So all these different things going on. People like pieces are moving, and that's kind of wanted to bring that up to see. There's always a good place. It goes to prove there's always a good thing that people have options to go different places. Like I say, everybody's not going to want to be in a WWE or AEW or New Japan. They have options now. You know what I'm saying? Like I think because we alluded to it, because Swerve. I think because AEW doesn't have that much of a tougher schedule in terms of like they're what they do. I think Swerve had another show somewhere else. The same show I think Zilla Fatu was on. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to have that option in the business. And it's kind of like, it really reminds me of the old school when they used to travel territories like that, kind of under the radar. Remember back in the day? Like you see like Ric Flair versus Von Erich, or Dusty versus Billy Graham. We all know that classic when, our Cody's holding the title up, that classic thing like that. So when you talk about collabing today and things like we talked about a lot of things. You see how it kind of comes home though? We talked about collaborations, and they did that back in the day. Kind of under the radar though, you know what I'm saying? They take your biggest star and this biggest star and they put them in the ring together. Oh, but you can't take the title from us. You win off qualification. You know what I'm saying? Like how that works today, we don't know, but it's good to see. And then, sometimes no matter where they leave, they go on the indie scene, do a little tour, they come back, and they're bigger than ever. I was watching SummerSlam 2009, 15 years ago, and that was when essentially like the start of the last hurrah for DX. And that's when Shawn and Triple H took on Cody and Teddy. They took on Legacy. And I was looking at it, and I was like, man, Cody was like, look, but if you go back and watch that match, though, man, they were doing some good work on DX, man. They were doing some good work on him, man. And so to be on a big stage like that against them, SummerSlam, against Shawn Michaels and Triple H, then, you go and leave because you're unhappy. Then you come back and now you're the guy.
Right. No North Star.
You know what I'm saying? So, does he come back? I remember Drew McIntyre, and I might be honest with you, Drew McIntyre left, and he said, when he came back, one of the things he said before he came back was like, one day or maybe when it's there, like one day me and Sheamus are gonna be a WrestleMania, we're gonna steal the show. Well, I mean, it was a triple threat match last year, but I don't know if they stole the show, but man,
the match a lot of people was talking about now. That was a great match. Yeah,
the quote Sheamus, it was a banger.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And they got banged on because, man, I remember Titus O'Neil, call the police. Oh, the police. But nonetheless,
A lot
I
of people
say
was
that.
mad about that, but that was about our favorite part of the match because he was commentating, boy.
Yeah, but
He was
look here.
like, ooh.
Hey, well, what I was just saying was that, man, it's always good. So, final thoughts on this real quick. Do you think Jinder comes back? Or does he stay out and do his thing?
To WWE or
WWE.
I see him going maybe to TNA.
It's possible. Like I said, depends on how he built himself up while he's out. He already built himself up to be WWE champion the way he did. Can he build himself up after he has left the company? Let's see
Mhm.
what he's made of. Just like you said, Drew, Cody, and many others have done.
Mhm.
So I'm waiting to see.
Got it.
Please, Dan, no.
I hear you. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here from the brothers, the brotherhood. It's so much more to talk about in the future of wrestling. And that's the beauty
Oh
of
yeah.
it, of being in the indie scenes and coming back to the major stages and getting your name out there and showing people that, hey, you made a mistake,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm willing to come back and let you get another chance to show this greatness. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of them have a chip on their shoulder like that, and that brings a lot of success in them sometimes. But nonetheless, we reached the point in the show where we're gonna talk about our 3 bold predictions. We almost let it slip earlier because our brother Sean, he didn't want to let it out. But Sean, tell the people what's going on.
Well, let's talk about it. So listen, we've all here on this show we talked about, everything surrounding Rhea, Liv, Dominic. But my first bold prediction is at SummerSlam, at some point in the match between Liv and Rhea, things will begin to go south for Liv, right? And Dominic's on the sideline, cheering for Rhea, but then for whatever reason, he starts to think about how Rhea told him, hey, you don't belong to me. I mean, I don't belong to you. You belong to me. He starts to think about what transpired between him and Liv throughout the time when she was gone, and boom, for whatever reason, Dom decides to do what Dom do, be dirty Dom, and strew Rhea Ripley. But it gets better than that. Jey Uso comes to the defense of Rhea and at SummerSlam, which causes Finn Balor and JD to come out and attack Jay. This could possibly lead up to a tag team match in the future between Finn Balor, JD, Sammy, and Jay. That's my first bold prediction there. A possible tag team match in the future between Sammy and Jay. They then teamed up facing Finn and JD, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Dom making his decision that he really was on Team Liv. Second bold prediction. I know my boy Ron, he might not like this. Don't worry, it's not about Triple H. Don't worry. Charlotte.
I don't like Triple H. I like Triple H.
I know. You're not the hater. It's another guy on here that's a hater, Triple H hater, but he's gonna rename it nameless.
Man,
Listen,
go ahead. Second prediction, bro.
Charlotte Flair makes her anticipated return at SummerSlam.
Oh, yeah,
Charlotte
I don't like this one. Yeah.
Charlotte Flair makes her anticipated return at SummerSlam after whoever wins the women's championship match between Bayley and Nia Jax, right? So the reason why I believe that she's gonna make her return at SummerSlam is because however you feel about Charlotte, she's a major factor to the women's division on SmackDown, right? Stars are usually born from being around another star. She's at the point in her career, and especially with there being an influx of a lot of younger talent in the women's division, they need a pinnacle star like Charlotte to, because iron sharpens iron, and they just benefit by somebody like her caliber being in the locker room. And I think it will make the women's division that much better. Now, this is where it got really interesting. I didn't want to talk about it early in the show, but I don't see Roman Reigns coming back at SummerSlam. I agree, like we talked about earlier in the show. I don't see him coming back at SummerSlam, but I do see the Bloodline taking all the gold, making it a barren wasteland. So basically, they need a savior such as Roman Reigns, right? And I do see when Roman does come back, he's not coming back alone. He's going to have Zilla Fatu in his back pocket to face Jacob and the rest of the bloodline, and ultimately teaming up the old bloodline, Jay, Sammy, Jimmy, to face on this new bloodline. Those are my bold predictions.
Hold on, before we comment, let's go back to the comment that was not necessary.
What comment? What comment?
Triple H hater? Me? Really?
Oh, I mean, I don't know.
Really? Really? Me?
You,
Really?
are you? Only you can answer that.
No, you know I'm not a hit. You said it as if I was. Come on,
Don't worry.
answer that. You already put it out there. I am not.
Don't worry. I know you love the game.
I'm not a Triple H hater.
Okay.
I'm not Triple H. Triple H is one of the best minds in the business, if not the best mind in the business today.
The GOAT of the business. Is that what you're trying to say?
I just always tell you, I don't know why you got to throw these little curveballs in there. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
I'm just trying to keep on your toes, baby. Keep on your toes.
Go ahead, Crump. You kick off, man.
First of all, with Charlotte coming back, yeah, I could rather not see her. But I mean, I always gonna say that 'cause I just don't want to see her in the title picture. That's the only thing with my thing with Charlotte. She's always coming back right toward the title picture. No contender match. Just hop on in the match, get the belt for just out of nowhere. Like, come on.
When you're a 14-time champion, bro, that's what happens.
She's a flair, baby. She's a flair.
Yeah, anyway. So if she could come back and, help some other talent, have a rivalry just with somebody that's not in the title picture, I'm cool with that. I'm not saying she's bad. I'm just saying I don't want to see her in the title picture no time soon. Have a rivalry with somebody else doing something else. Because not every woman's, rivalry got to be around the title. So go do something else. So that's cool. As far as you saying Bloodline getting all the belts, it's gonna be, like I said, I wouldn't be mad at Solo getting the title, but it's just hard for me to see it. Especially with a lot of stuff we keep saying that's going on. Like I said, Randy might come in the picture. Roman or Jimmy might come back. So I don't see how Solo's winning that match.
They got Jacob.
I know he got Jacob. But like I said, if Roman does come back, he said he might come back with Zilla. But I'm saying when one is already signed, like we were selling her, I think it's coming to Hikaleo. I think is that his name?
I don't know.
Probably. I don't know.
I think it's Hikaleo, but it might be him.
That'll be 5 people.
That's if he goes with Solo. But he could go with team with Roman, or will Jimmy bring him in? Who knows? So there's a lot of ways, a lot of places it could go. So and that's what this regime continues to show us. There's a lot of avenues these stores could go, and everything's not predictable.
Right.
And that's what it's supposed to be like.
Mm-hmm.
So I like both. I like your predictions, bro. I'm looking forward to it all.
Yeah.
Look, hold on. I want to answer this one because you know what I want to talk. Live and Real. First of all, let's go ahead and call it. Let's address the elephant in the room. There's no more Waffle House date. Let's kill that. Okay. Although she did say Jay Uso is off limits. I don't know if I caught that on Raw.
Yeah.
Okay, so how was the Waffle House date off? It ain't really on. It ain't been officially on, of course.
They might bring that All-Star breakfast to the ring.
Hey, look. Hey, you said
sponsor.
Hey, look here. You could say what's not on, but something going on.
That's what I'm saying. You saying it's not on?
Hey, look, but Dom made his choice.
Man, we know where that's going. That's what it's in the predictions. You ain't listening.
Listen. Hold on. What does it say? This ain't Paul Heyman. He ain't say it's a spoiler. It's a prediction.
Hey.
So, hey, yeah. But what I'm saying is, like we said, we always think it's. This regime has not made the obvious sometimes, but the obvious thing has not happened.
Yeah.
We all thinking. I keep going back to that example. It was always talk about Rock gonna turn on Roman, Seth gonna turn on Cody. Yeah. None of that happened. Now. Yeah, Dominic, he told Liv. That thing was so crazy. I saw Samantha Urban on video, looked like she about to cry. She did one of these little numbers for Liv.
Yeah. Because, Dominic was going hard with it.
Yeah, like, you know what?
Whatever he said in Spanish must have been hard.
Yeah. So now, and she didn't turn and smile that time. So yeah, the obvious thing is like, okay, yeah, maybe he'll turn on Rhea, right? Or the obvious thing, maybe he'll just keep it with Liv like this now. But I keep telling you, the wild card is Finn Balor.
Mm-hmm.
The wild card is Finn Balor because that room key, man. Nobody talking about it no more.
Yeah.
They tag team champions because of her. Or maybe
Yeah.
maybe all of them just turn on. Oh man, woo, goodness. Maybe they all just turn on Rhea. No more
That's
judgment
what
day
I'm
with
thinking.
them.
That's what I'm thinking.
You know, so
Well, you know, Dom's gonna be a heel either way. He can't be a face.
well, now that Joe Dirt, look he got going on there.
Boy, that gotta go.
Yep. So very good cinema there, man. I'm intrigued. I don't think it's been in a while. I don't know if it's been a match that I was more intrigued to see than this Rhea Liv match because I really want to see what happens. I'm not anxious, but I really want to see what happens. So I'll be eating me some chicken wings on Saturday, getting ready for it.
Right? Need them chickens and them nuggets. That's what you're supposed to be eating.
No.
Nugget, we having a nugget party?
Look here.
Nugget party.
Look here. First of all, you need the sauce. And if that don't work out, hey, Waffle House around the if it don't work out, Waffle House around the corner.
Who got the best nugget?
Huh?
Who got the best nugget?
Period. Chick-fil-A.
Period.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Wendy's.
Me too.
I like Chick-fil-A.
Man, Wendy's be hitting, boy. I don't know.
Hey, hold on. They ain't paying us.
Oh yeah.
Oh, God, what the dog, man? Keep doing this.
We might have to get some sponsorship or something.
Hey,
pass that bread.
hey. But that was straight cinema. Ladies and gentlemen, we almost at SummerSlam, and it's going to be a phenomenal. Right now, we only have 7 matches booked. I think we get one more on this week on Raw because I think something's going to happen with Chad and Uncle Howdy, but remain to be seen. So looking forward to talking to y'all about that at SummerSlam, the biggest party of the summer gets to come, and looking forward to talking about what happens after that as well. But we've reached a point in time. We talk about a champion's moment, and I actually thought about this one long and hard. Although she's not here, she's going to see this. But the champion's moment is going to my wife, Zakia Nix.
Hey.
And reason being, full on transparency. While I'm sitting here doing this podcast, I hear her yelling at the kids. Well, no, just trying to, the kids being kids, man. They're blessings, my wonderful blessings. I thank God for. But she's out there trying to keep it all together while I'm sitting here. While she's doing that, it's allowing me to be here and do something that I enjoy doing, which is talking about professional wrestling. So it goes to my wife to, for showing the great gratitude to her for, just the compromising to help us further along something that we enjoy doing. But she knows she watches SmackDown with me weekly because she likes Bianca, she likes Jade, you know what I'm saying? She likes Roman, she likes, she likes the Bloodline. So for her to do that, and even on top of that, Sean, it works best when we go to SmackDown, she's gonna keep the kids, man. So she thought about going, she said it's gonna work best. So shout out to my wife, Zakia Nesbitt. That's champion wants to go to you, baby. When you see us, I love you. You'll see this, I know, because you be always laughing at us when you watch these. But but shout out to you. You know what, Sean? Do you want to give a shout out to Tasha?
She just walked in the room.
Brittany, hey, baby. Thank you.
All love the sweet Tasha. She need to have that dinner ready. Now let me stop. She just better. I'm hungry. She better make sure it's ready. But it's all good.
Oh Lord, here you go.
Hey, thank you. I think that was a very special moment for all of us.
Beautiful champions moment. Beautiful champions moment, man. Touching.
Thank you. I ladies and gentlemen, we all about being champions here. And so remember, no matter what you're going through, what you're facing, you are still a champion. These are just things that's helping you build on where you're trying to get to. So we enjoy talking. We enjoy you kicking it with us. Thank you again for helping us exceed 1,000 followers on YouTube. We appreciate you. We thank you for engaging in the conversations, and we look forward to more of that right here on the Champions Corner. We out. Peace.
Road to 2000.